Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is I, the great Isaiah Faithful, and we are here today for another motherfucking episode of the NFL season. So, we got week 2 power rankings going into week 2, and honestly, I feel very great about my power rankings. I'm only going to do the 10 through 1 the whole year. I feel like it's going to be way too much to do all 32, but whoever does do all 32, props to you. You deserve more credit than I do. But here, we're going to start off at number 10, where we have the Las Vegas Raiders. Man, the Raiders coming off a very good win on Monday Night Football against the Ravens, who didn't have a lot of good pieces, lost a lot of their players due to injury. And it still made for a hell of a game. The the Raiders did win in overtime that game. And what really caught my eye and the reason why they're in my top 10 is because of Derek Carr. Everybody was shitting on him for the first half. He was playing like shit the first half. And then in the second half and in overtime, he showed why he could be considered a top 10 QB this year. And honestly, the defense played lights out. It could be due to the Ravens' weak offensive line, but it doesn't matter. They took advantage. They understood what they had to do with that weak offensive line. They put down Mr. Lamar Jackson, and they destroyed the run. They stopped the run. They did what they had to do defensively. The play that got him into scoring position in overtime was due to them making Lamar Jackson fumble. That's why I had them at number 10. All right, now moving on to number 9, where I have the Steelers, who I thought were going to be overrated this year. And they shook a lot of heads last week, defeating the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. Not a lot of people expected this to happen, and due to the main part that the Steelers weren't running their defense. They ran a complete different style of defense than they usually do. The offense was awoke. And this team just looked good, and it looked like it can compete for the division. But at the same time, it's only week 1. But again, we'll have to see with the Steelers. Not really much about them. I just have them at number 9 because they defeated a big-name team. They defeated the team that went to the AFC Championship game last year and one of the best offenses in the league last year. Now, at number 8, we have the Cleveland Browns. I had this team going 15-2. They lost their first game, week 1. But the takeaways from this game is they did good. They did good, and we all wondered what would have happened if the Browns got the last drive in that divisional round versus the Chiefs, and we got a glimpse of that. And Baker Mayfield threw an interception. He has the most interceptions thrown in the fourth quarter by any QB since 2018. That's not good. But they did put up a fight. They showed why they could compete in this conference, why they compete in the whole NFL, putting up that much points on the Chiefs. You can say their defense is iffy, but still defense held their half for a lot of the game till the third quarter, fourth quarter, where it matters most. But honestly, you could say the Browns should be. For me, I think 8 through 10 are changeable. You could put the Browns 10, 9, 8, whatever you want. And honestly, you could even put the Raiders at number 8. But I like the Browns here at number 8. I still love their defense. I still love this team. So moving into number 7, we have the San Francisco 49ers. I would have ranked them so much higher. So much higher if we had just not gave up shit time points and allowed them to almost win the game. They got very scary at the end. George Kittle, you got to learn how to use your hands, boy. You got to learn how to use your hands on these onside kicks. And Debo needs to learn how to hold on to the ball. But besides that, Jimmy G did great. He shut me up, of course. He did great in this game. I believe completing over 65% of his passes with two touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. No interceptions. Did have a fumble though, but it doesn't matter. And that was a very good game by the 49ers. And Jared Goff showing why he still has somewhat of the Niners number, but he does not. Now, moving on to number 6, we have the Arizona Cardinals. And the main reason why I have them over the Niners is two of the reasons why I have them over the Niners is because Chandler Jones, 5 sacks. Kyler Murray, 5 touchdowns. That is very, 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 very scary. Very scary. If you're an NFC West fan, this team looks very, very good. But again, I'm still a Cardinals hater, and I still will until they prove me wrong. I think the Cardinals are still frauds. They took advantage of a very bad defense. They took advantage of a very bad offensive line. But they took care of business. They knew what they had to do going into this game. And they defeated a good team. A team that we all think could make the playoffs and possibly go to the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl, not so much as the as the playoffs. But again, a very good team with with Derrick Henry. So here it is, going into the top 5. We have the Saints at number 5. That might be a shocker to a lot of you guys, but to me, Jameis Winston doing what he did against the Packers. Not even at home. They had to play in Jacksonville to do this, and for Jameis Winston to do what he did, passing the ball, just destroying that defense that is already bad as it is, and the defense for the Saints making Aaron Rodgers look like an absolute bum, making him look like Nathan Peterman out there, and it was very bad. I believe he had 2 interceptions in that game. Jameis Winston had no interceptions. If I'm wrong here, I think he had no interceptions. You could also say that he threw a lot of underneath routes and the short routes. Doesn't matter. He got his job done. He completed the passes, and he did what he had to do to beat a good team like that. And you could tell me it's only week 1. You don't need to keep the Packers out of the top 10. You kind of do. You get absolutely mollywopped by the Saints, a team that nobody expected this to happen. Nobody in their mothers expected this to happen. And you go into Jacksonville and you get absolutely mollywopped. So now, heading into number 4, we have the Seattle Seahawks, led by Russell Wilson. I have them up here at number 4 because this team is insane. The offense is absolutely insane. Tyler Lockett and Russell Wilson having an amazing connection this whole game, making that fucking Colts defense look like it was nothing. And can't really say much about it. The defense held their end. If this defense can even be in a top 14, top 12 situation for Seattle, they could possibly win the Super Bowl. That offense is just that good. If that defense could just be a little inside top 15, top 12, they could possibly win the Super Bowl and give Russell Wilson another ring, which could very well happen. Now, moving into number 3, we have the Rams. The LA Rams. The Rams absolutely bollywopped the fucking Bears on Sunday Night Football. Stafford proving why he's still an elite quarterback, proving why he's still a top 10 quarterback. To some people, he's not. I don't understand. He did very well. And Cooper Kupp, y'all remember that one play where Cooper Kupp was wide open, the safeties dropped inside. I don't know what the hell they were thinking, letting Cooper Kupp that wide open, and just the pure domination of the offense and the defense combined. Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald doing their thing on the defensive side. It's going to look good. We all thought they were going to be bad with the injury to the running back, but Sonny Michel and Henderson doing their end of the bargain there as well. This team could very well win the Super Bowl as well. And surprisingly, the whole NFC West is in the top 10 in my power rankings. And it's probably going to be like this for a while. It's going to be no shocker if the whole NFC West makes the postseason. And it wouldn't be a shocker if we see at least... It wouldn't be a shocker if we saw them two of these teams playing the NFC Championship game or divisional round and the wild card. We could see that very well happen. And again with the Rams, they're a very special team. We could talk about how their safeties is a big issue, but it doesn't matter when your offense is able to do what they're going to do. They could give up some points, but again, some points you don't want to give up. So, moving on to number 2, we have the Kansas City Chiefs, who came back in a game no one believed they would come back. I believe they were down 22-10 heading into halftime against the Browns, who I ranked at number 8. And I honestly, me putting them at number 2 is where they belong. Because again, Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and fucking Travis Kelce. That trio right there speaks for it itself. They came back. They played very well in the second half against one of the best defenses on paper. The best defense on paper, actually. Clowney and the boys on that defense for the first half did very well. But Eric Bieniemy making up adjustments, making sure his team was good, put them in the right position to go in and score as much points as they did to win the game. And that's why I had them at number 2. Very good team, like always. They've been to back-to-back Super Bowls already. And now, at number 1, we have the defending Super Bowl champions with the Buccaneers here. Play Thursday Night Football against the Cowboys, who I would have ranked if they had won. If they had won, I would have put them in a top 5, top 3 ranking. But they didn't win. They still did good. Defense needs to step up. I believe it was Monte Burfict was, I believe that's his name, who got injured, who dislocated his elbow. He's gonna be out for a while, and they're gonna have to fix up that defense a little bit. Dear God, Tom Brady looking like he's 25. He's able to sling the ball. He looks just as good as he does every year, and there should be no question why he's the number 1. Why the Bucs are the number 1 team right now in the league. Best defense. They kept the team since last year. And again, you could argue that the Chiefs are number 1 because how close the game was with the fucking Cowboys and the Bucs. But again, doesn't matter. They pulled it off and they did what they had to do to win. And when you're the Super Bowl champions and you win week 1, you're usually going to be ranked number 1 again. So, that is it for my power rankings, guys. If you have anything to say, keep it in the comments section. Tell me down below who you have as your top 10 in the league. Until then, you already know what comes around goes around. It's Isaiah motherfucking Faithful. And until then, I'll catch y'all cunts later. Say goodbye. Bye-bye.